Yeah, it does.
Yep,
That checks.
yep, just let me close a few things and get some things set up.
Everybody panic!
At the disco.
God,
For once, I'm not the one making the song joke.
I just beat you to it.
I wasn't. I barely remember the group. Let's see.
Yep. So, to speed things along, as you all came down the stairs to with blood-soaked clothes, heavy breaths, and rain fatigue, you step into the ballroom where you're greeted by the guests who are still alive. And as you try your best to explain what happened up there, it is mostly Wadwig and the Queen of Bus who takes the majority of the conversation and um described what happened, and you feel a sort of energy as you know they'll bear more of the weight of what has happened and what is to come as the days go on. And as they explain these things, the king dismisses you to go to a nearby place to just get some rest because it looked like you all need it. So, and with heavy footprints, you gathered yourselves out of the palace and you head to the specific building he addresses. And it is very much different from any inn you experience, as it seems cleaner, it seemed taller, and unlike stairs, it looks like there's platforms that take you to your rooms. As you go up and see your new room for the night. And you guys are right here.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
All those in favor of heading straight to sleep, say aye, and Ogman just raises his hand.
Aye.
First thing of business, get me out of this thing!
I gotcha. Besides, I need to get out of this one too. Well, Nephrite just helps Cortana at least loosen up the corset so that way she can breathe a little bit. There you go. You can take off the rest when you're in secure company.
Yeah, need me to unlace your corset a bit?
Please do.
And Kira just does that. How do women breathe in those things every day?
If I knew the answer, I would tell you, but you're talking to somebody that never wears a corset.
Practice. It's like wearing a soldier uniform.
From what I can gather, you breathe with your chest, not your stomach.
Well, I'm just gonna. So since there's 6 of us, we're just gonna pair off. I'll take Holnir for the night.
I think because we're all just too tired to even think, breathe, eat, or whatever. Everybody just going to a room and pairing off with whomever.
Yeah.
All right, I guess since you called dibs on with Holnir, I'll head with Alicia's room with Alicia.
Sleep over with the girls.
That was kind of my intention.
Mm-hmm.
Nifred,
Yes.
if you could, he, Holnir will proffer his hammer to you. Could you maybe look at this and see if you can fix it? I feel naked without it. And vulnerable with it cracked like this.
I'll see what I can do. I can't make any promises.
Even if you just give it your best. I know you'll have done what you can.
Okay. And I'm just now looking at the rooms. Holy croak, each room has a bath!
This one.
Yeah, there we go.
She faces her walls to go into the next room.
No, she raises the 4th wall to go into the next room.
Wait a minute. Do I still have Shatterstar on me, or did I give that to Rodrigue? I probably gave it to Rodrigue.
I think we gave it to Rodrigue.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
probably get.
If we didn't, let's just say that we did, and we all just go to bed.
Yep.
Because Ogden, so the whole narrator, he just sees Ogden just collapse onto the bed. He's just snoring already.
All right.
Yep, so you all go to sleep.
Oh, lovely, not this again.
Something tells me just the fact they're here is Olanta's got something to talk about.
Is it too much to ask for just one night of unprecedented good sleep?
I'm afraid that's the equivalent of asking. It's the equivalent of asking the world to just put this drama on pause for us to take a day off.
Mark it.
I'm marking it.
And is there any response to Ogman's comment? Oh wait, no, he's not muted. Oh no, I'm not muted. Yay!
While you are not wrong, it still isn't too much to ask for just one night of good sleep.
That I will agree with you.
No, I figure that with the latest acquisition, things are going to be moving a lot faster.
Yeah, whatever Green Knight and Altier have planned, wouldn't surprise me if they got having something on tap that might just pull the rug right out from underneath us. Sorry if I'm being pessimistic, but gotta be prepared for anything.
Out of character. Huh?
What do you mean the ha?
Yeah, now
In
you
the
see my
southwest,
hand.
Yep. Where you see Lovatar holding Olanta by her hair, nearly pulling her closer to her. And what looks to be a finger under Alanta's neck that is sparkling with blue lightning. So this is where you gathered heroes. Very interesting, my dear. I've seen a couple of you one at a time, but this is the first time we've ever met all together. Tell me, Olanta, how many more friends have you brought in just to ease your pain? Please, don't listen to her. Just wake up if you can.
Easier said than done. Considering that we have very little control over what's going on in this world. Is there something you actually want? Or is this just another game?
The games are supposed to be fun, entertaining. But this...
I'm not amused. I'm not amused in any way, shape, or form.
And you think I am? Now
I
that
don't
I
know.
know I've
It's
been
like
trapped in this place for over a millennia now. All thanks to her.
you would have preferred the alternative, to be trapped with the other, because that prison would have been even worse than what she concocted for you.
They do say ignorance is bliss. But nothing beats the pit when reality steps in, as you kindly demonstrated to me.
That's the real question, isn't it? You have a choice. Which side do you choose?
The two sides to the same coin, no doubt that analogy. But what if there was no coin? What if someone placed a coin on the table and you had to pick the side? What then? Do you blame yourself for choosing the wrong side? Or do you blame the coin that dropped, giving you the option?
At least you had a choice. And you can actually choose to not pick up the coin at all. Just stand aside and watch things from the sideline as they unfold and decide your fate for you.
It sounds like you
That is a
choose.
choice. It is not what I choose, but it is a choice I'm aware of.
What say all of you?
I don't mean to be pedantic, but technically there are 3 sides to a coin.
Three.
Aye. You produce it. Holnir will produce a gold coin. Everyone forgets about the 3rd side of the coin. They're always looking at either heads or tails, but they forget a coin is a 3-dimensional object, not 2. There's its side. The one that you can roll upon. One which has no face.
The one that always sneaks in and turns the luck.
Aye. It is rare, but it is possible to land on it. It is neutral.
Yeah. It represents the choice of choosing either side and simply observing.
What happens if you picked one side, regret it, and then picked the other side with no benefits? Only to watch your mistakes unfurled as she pushes down Olanta's head exactly like she did.
Then you'll live with it.
Yeah.
We learn from our mistakes. That's what it means to be mortal. Besides, it's also mortal to make the choice. The only way the world falls apart is not by acting at all.
And what if you're not mortal? Do you still have that choice?
Everyone has the choice.
You have the choice, but the consequences of that choice have greater impact. The more power that you have, the wider the range the impact that happens. Gods tend to serve as an example to the mortals. So their choices and decisions, right or wrong, impact the mortal realm accordingly.
And maybe I misspoke there for a second. Not just mortals, even the gods have the right for what they choose to do. Just have to be a bit more careful considering how powerful they are.
Even not making a choice is a choice in the end.
To choose or not to choose.
Aye, that
To
is the
live.
question, isn't it?
Or to die. Regret or fulfillment. Shadow and light. Darkness and hope. Punishment or forgiven. All these sides, all these coins, all of them can blend together. Tell me, what do you see in me, the goddess of pain? Do you ever would see me bend to the wills of the mortals? Or do you just expect me to just loath and loss. To have pleasure in someone's misery.
I expect nothing. But then again, I'm me.
I don't know. To me, pain is a teacher. Pain can make pleasure more sweet when it occurs. But to take pleasure in inflicting pain, I don't know, can make it to where there's no end to the pain. In which case, it feeds back upon yourself, inflicting pain upon you in return.
And yet, you will always see me as the goddess of pain, no matter what I do, no matter what I try to look the other way or try different method to try to be mortal. That's all I'll ever be. Can you say the same for her?
From my understanding, the gods can't really change their basic nature unless they find a way to cease to exist.
And yet, it sounds like they're giving you a free pass.
I wouldn't really call it free.
You mind if I take it from here?
Sure.
Because this is something I've been noticing. Why are you always constantly holding Olanta over a mantle? Or why are you trying to hold her over us as if she's strictly guilty for your situation? I've been noticing you've been eyeing her, trying to see how we'll answer or how to direct what we say towards her. You've asked us a lot of questions, and we've answered pretty much how we could. So my question for you is, what is your vendetta against Olanta?
Vendetta doesn't even begin to describe it. It is because of her that all this began.
Really? That's not my understanding of it.
And yet
There are those that are behind the entirety of this thing, whose names we dare not even speak in this realm, that actually caused and started this entire problem. And yet you blame Olanta. You blame Olanta because she did her best to protect as many as she could, to the best of her ability, against that.
yes.
But you forget, Elise. You forget one crucial thing. History is written by the victors.
Only if it's forgotten by the losers.
That's the thing, though. She, her sister, the rest of the deities that have been in this situation, What is their status now to us?
Lost.
Forgotten. She never had a true say on what history presumes of her. We only know from the stories and legends we've been told. History is muddied. History can be muddled. We never got the full story of her and her sister. We never got the full reason why she has the mantle, Goddess of Pain. When from what I'm gathering, she never wanted that mantle. She never had a choice to be anything other than that.
Yes. You mortals gave me that name, pushed me into that stereotype, and now you're pressuring me with morals of a mortal. Redeemability and all that, when forever and until the end of time the world will see me nothing but the goddess of pain.
I didn't
And
see it
yet,
that way.
this woman tries to do something different. This woman tries. She tries to redeem as many souls, either in this dreamscape or out in the mortal plane as possible, even though she knows it'll be in vain. And yet, none of you question her allegiance, question her morals. You just blindly assume the help when you know she's hide stuff from you.
I figured as much. That's why I never fully trusted her.
After
Yeah, she
all,
helped. She's been a useful ally, but someone I would consider blindly following. Even when I got information from her, she would give me information. I would take it with a grain of salt, because for all I knew, she could be lying. So that was probably why I never got to see her too often. Especially when I had my conversation with you. When I had a conversation with you, I felt you were a great conversation. And when I was told you were the goddess of pain, I never felt anywhere near a case of like you want to inflict pain. I thought you were someone that just wanted to get rid of some kind of stereotype you might have. So I don't see you as a goddess of pain. I see you as a goddess of something you want to be, personally. But that's just my own thoughts, and I have a feeling my group wants me to shut up now. And he looks directly at Nephrite.
No,
Eh. Olanta
I never wanted you to shut up.
Olanta and I never really interacted all that much. If anything, I remember talking to you. Vaguely. I'm drunk most of the time. I forget nearly everything by the next day.
Well, for the rest of us, we've spoken to Olanta. We never questioned because it never crossed our minds. And I've spoken to someone I thought was you. And I had the worst reaction. And to them, I apologize. And for knowing your mantle, and based from what I'm hearing from Holnir and Ogman, I see you're doing the one thing that I want to say, envious? If I'm using the wrong word, please correct me. Or dubious would slightly be a better term, of Olanta. But yet, you're doing it a little better than her. You're being open. You're questioning all of us, but you're doing it openly. Because you want to see how we'll react. For Olanta, she doesn't question us. She rather guides us but hides her own motives. We're mortals. We do the same thing as well. Either knowingly or unknowingly, benevolently or maliciously. I can speak and say I'm not that open to trust. That's why I never fully understood Olanta. But I think I should shut up a little bit more often and listen.
With that, Lavatar lets go of Alanta's hair and removes her sparkling finger under her neck, and you see Alanta fall forward, looking pale, as if what you said shocked her. It looks like she trusted you more than you trusted her, which I am not surprised. She believed that you, Rolf, would be there to fix her mistakes. That she honeyed her words so that you can follow her blindly. But it would never work. As they were all discouraged as me, the goddess of pain, you will always be the goddess of poison.
Huh? So, okay, just out of character, make sure I'm correcting myself. This is the goddess of poison, right?
What a twist.
No, I'm asking to make sure I'm thinking that right. Okay, so yeah, I am right.
Yeah. And you see Lavatar locked to the edge of the illusion, but before she could set foot into the dreamscape, she vanishes.
And just figured that it was too much to hope for a true ally. Everyone seems to be playing a manipulative game. I'm kind of getting tired of it.
No.
So your honesty is appreciated.
No. I'm not trying to manipulate you in the same way the Order is. I just knew this would have been your reaction.
I don't want to really believe that you are the goddess of pain or poison in this particular case. I have no way of knowing for sure. I'm wanting to still extend some trust toward you. In the hopes that it is rewarded in the end.
Somehow you have been helping us a little bit. You've been giving us abilities through our marks. You've been helping us attain new magic that some of us have no capabilities of ever reciprocating or attaining. But something in me is telling me I should snap at you. Something inside of me is saying, rip this goddess a new one because she has been lying to you ever since the day you've all met. But I'm not going to. Because that's not the goal that I have agreed with my party. That's not going to fix anything. That's not going to cure anything. That's not going to correct anything. If you are who she says she is, if you are who she says you are, all I can say is well played. Because you've done the one thing I thought nobody else would ever do to anyone I love. You played us like a lovely, orchestrated string section. However, if you are not, and you're trying to redeem yourself or rectify your own mistakes or whatever shining light of hope you're trying to give, explain to us how nothing is stopping you to try and still make that happen. Or explain to us how a goddess would need a group of mortals that had to dwindle their own arms to fix the mistake of an entire pantheon's. If you want us to trust you, either side of you, that's the very least you can start doing right now.
I want to. Believe me, I do. I never wanted any of this to happen. Not you with the marks. Not the creation of the order. Not the world splitting apart because of what I've done. I never wanted any of this, but there is only so much I can do on this side now. That I needed help. And with you, that child, the dragonborn, the knight, even one of my lost Canary. All of you were not under the order's sway. I had no choice but to rely on you. Though I didn't know how. Until you showed me the kindness, the honesty, and quite frankly, the bluntness I needed to learn. There are those who believe that gods are above all that with these ethereal beings that have wisdom beyond our years, but we could still learn. We could still make mistakes. And if people are willing, help us. And watch as we try to rectify our mistakes. And you see Olanta sink down and you see tears streaming down her face.
Quick pause real quick because Dragon's headphones have cut out for a little bit. So we
Yeah.
just need to figure out how much did he hear and what was the last part he heard.
Yeah.
So I heard the beginning of Olanta's response, but then it cut out.
Quick way I can explain it is the first part and the middle portion of the response was how she didn't mean for all of this to happen. Our marks, the Terran, the space-time continuum, the separation of both good and evil portions of every deity. She didn't mean for any of that. But there was only so much she can do on the godly level. She needed help from anyone else.
She also didn't want to make the order that.
So she had to look for help outside of the order, aka us.
I will admit, when I first met you, I was a little blind to trust you. Heck, when I first met you, I didn't even ask your name. I believe I did the same with Lil Ira and Belil. But given all that's come up, I will say my trust has dwindled, but it's not all. There's still some left. Just enough to allow you to at least help us go in the right direction to take care of the order and whatever else we have to deal with to fix this whole mess.
It is one thing that we seem to not be able to get is any definitive information on the order. We know of 2 members, not really a whole lot of information about either one of those beyond basic abilities. Then there's, 3 others in addition to that we literally know nothing about.
The Razor, Ophelia, and Azrael were the other 3, and they are gone.
They're gone. We're just down to the last 2.
2.
And those 2 are the most ambitious of all of them.
Yes. Of the 2, I'm more concerned with the Green Knight. Altier has ambition, but she has also limitations for how much she can achieve, how quickly. The Green Knight, in addition to his own personal power, has an unknown number of allies just waiting to invade the mortal world.
He doesn't have allies, he has minions. There is a difference.
Not much for our purposes. It's like dealing with an army, dealing with the base soldiers, and then dealing with the commanders. You have to deal with both at the same time in different ways. My personal hope is that if we can take out the commander, the base soldiers will lose direction, possibly squabble amongst each other until one of them can assert themselves as a new supreme leader.
Yes.
Which will hopefully buy us time.
Exactly what happened. between that prince and the mockery. You cut off the source. You damaged the whole blow. You cut off the source of the Green Knight. And this nightmare will finally come to the end to the mortal plane.
What do you mean? I'm trying to wrap my head around that. What do you mean cut off the source of the Green Knight? You're saying Mockery was the Green Knight, or...
No. I believe you met the Green Knight. He is in a similar vein as Cortana once was.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah,
Run it by me. Who would it... Because I'm thinking
taken
it's the
over.
prince. We all thought it was the prince, but it's not the prince. He's dead.
No, it's like think of it like when we first met Cortana. She took over the body of another person, whether she intended to or not. But the Green Knight intended to. So, whatever person his body belonged to.
He's long dead. He did mention the Green Knight himself said that he's been waiting for millennia.
Seems like a lot of these people have been waiting millennia.
Yeah.
Well, for
But when he
us,
says millennia, that was the Canary inside that was possessing the body was saying.
Yes. So we're not dealing with a person.
We're dealing with another Canary.
Dealing with another Canary. So even if we destroy the body, we still have to fight the Canary. Probably in the dream world, because in any other aspect, he'll simply vanish, just as he did at the castle. I don't think he was actually physically there. It was just a projection, trying to claim something that didn't belong to him, in the hopes of achieving victory for his side. Which is why he didn't try to challenge us in our weakened state after I killed Azrael. But when we do find a means of confronting him in his physical form, keep in mind that that's just one part of what we would have to deal with.
Then why don't we even the playing field? They know who we are. They know what we can do. But we don't know who they are, so that would be my one question, Olanta. You know how my mind works. So I believe you know exactly what I'm trying to ask.
It's also a question of which one of them is easier for us to get to.
If it's easier for us to get to Altair, then we would just need to know her location. If it's easier for us to figure out the Green Knight, then we would need a name. If not a name, then at least give us a race, so we can know what's inside that armor.
you see, the Green Knight is clever. Even he won't tell me his name and his form he is now. But I do know one thing. It is human.
Humans are the easiest to tempt with power. For the fulfillment of their desire, as was proven with mockery, the king. Not to say that the other races can't fall to that type of thing. It's just more, I don't know, common amongst humans. We're a
Yes,
short-lived race.
Yes, but while the prince made the choice to make a pact with the mockery, I don't think this human made that choice. Like what happened with Cortana, with her host. He might be an unwilling victim that has long passed now.
With the exception that in this case, in the Green Knight's case, it was an attack by the Qunari upon that individual, subsuming him, possibly destroying him utterly. If there's anything left buried deep within the psyche, it may not have much willpower left to it. So the Green Knight has total freedom and reign to do with the body as they see fit.
And it really depends on what his human form is doing in the mortal plane.
That's another thing. Being immortal may actually impose a restriction on him that he's not used to.
Indeed.
So yes, we need information in order to be able to act upon it. I have no real desire to simply sit and wait for them to come to us, because either one of them will come with as much of an army as they possibly can to throw
Especially
against the wall.
Altier.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even the Green Knight, if he gets enough Qunari into physical bodies, willing or otherwise, they would just be as much of a problem as Altier's crystalline minions.
Wait a minute. Let's go through that line of logic as a hypothetical. If the Green Knight has the capabilities of getting more Qunari into the mortal plane, each Qunari does need a body. Like you said, willing or unwilling. Let's go with unwilling. What exactly does Altier do? And Nevra will hold up her left hand. If this if this goes all the way to, let's say, 3/4 of the body, the person that's corrupted by the mark loses all sanity of themselves. They lose all control of themselves. What would that be for a Canary?
I'm target.
Hard to say. Think of it for a moment being something that never sleeps, and suddenly you lose consciousness for several hours every day. You remember absolutely nothing, or very little, if anything, of that time. If you separate yourself from the body and go into the dream world, then does time pass at the same rate?
That's the thing, too, with the. I'm sure you've noticed with your friend Katana that once a Canary leave the dream world, they can never go back.
Which means if they die in that body, there's no spirit left behind. There's no memory. They're utterly erased. Cortana might be an exception now because of what was done. But she would be the exception.
Not the rule.
Yeah, she would be the exception to the rule. That's something that the Canary may not actually be aware of. And actually might be having it hidden from them by the Green Knight in order to convince them to come serve him. Because once they're trapped here, they have no choice. An alternate possibility would be to find a middle ground where both the person and the Canary willingly merged, preferably without the help of a deity being involved. But if the Canary force the entry, it won't happen. It has to be willing on both sides.
Yes. Do you think humans will allow that to happen to themselves with the Canary?
If it was explained to them in a way that they could understand, and they were given time to make the choice, it's possible. I can't say how many would make the choice. It wouldn't be large numbers anytime soon. So I mean, when you're dealing with thousands of Canary, and you only have tens or dozens of humans, then a war could break out amongst the Canary for the opportunity of access. So again, no matter what choice we make, it's going to cause problems. I can only make choices for myself. make suggestions to my friends and allies. I do my best to refuse to make choices for other people. Do my best to tell them what the options are and what I know the consequences of each choice. The ultimate decision is theirs to make.
Right now, all we can do and all we've been doing is make assumptions, make speculations, make hypotheticals, and make a bunch of theories. We have some information now on the Green Knight, being that he's a human with a canary stuck inside his body. Not much else that we can do from there.
So the odds are we'll have to let him come to us. So we have to see if we can't go and find Altier and solve at least that problem. So there's only one real problem left.
Which is?
The Green Knight. If we take out Altier, then the Green Knight has to move. Preferably against us, because we can at least defend ourselves.
If we can get an estimated location on Altier, then that's the best we can do.
Yeah.
However, there is another question, but this is a personal question that I've been dying to know. Olanta,
Yes.
if she says you are who she says you are, how can we get rid of these marks on another person? And don't tell me that you don't know, and don't tell me that there is no way. There is always a way to get something off of something. Because of this bloody mark and that disgusting order, I have somebody that is dear to me corrupted. And I would very likely want to take that off.
That's right. For all we know. We understand.
I can only hear part of what he's saying.
Cactus, you
Yeah.
need to speak up.
Cactus, you are very quiet. We can barely hear you.
Nephrite, don't. She could be under some kind of divine contract, so that way she can't tell us, even if she wanted to.
All I will say is that you are on the right track of gathering the artifacts of the gods to release the dark hold on you.
I mean, that was my conclusion, is close the rift and the marks will fade.
Elige, there's obviously a but. What?
There's only so much we can deal with, Ogman. If there's a catch or a monkey's paw, and we have to deal with that when we find out what it is.
The thing, Alicia, I don't want to find out what it is. If there's a but, I want to hear it. You know who I'm asking on behalf of.
Yes.
So what the hell is this but?
Poison cannot just simply disappear into thin air. It has to be absorbed, it has to be used. But it's not as simple as just like pulling a thorn out of your foot. It needs to be drained. It needs to reside in someone. Pretty much like how Ogman was able to take his poison, his mark abilities to maximum and then transfer it to his father. It can be absorbed the same way.
We have to sacrifice ourselves in order to save our loved ones.
That
How
is one
typical.
way. The other way is you give the poison a host to transfer into.
Since I doubt that we're going to find anyone to be a willing host,
She lifts
rather
her
not.
arms. You've been looking at the host of poisoned for many, many years. And look where it got me. As she waves her hand and you see the flowers on this side move as if it's revealing something, and I'm so sorry I did not have the full time to get this orc.
Oh,
Where? Oh,
Oh,
So that becomes a question of if you become the recipient, doesn't that put you at more risk?
Look inside it, and you tell me how much more can I lose.
sir, it's her.
What you all are seeing is my other half.
So you're literally using the power to imprison your other half.
She's not in this crystal, it's just the way I can view her from her prison far away. But this is the part of me that the Order is hoping to unleash in the mortal plane. But this happened to me because I took on I absorbed every sickness, every poison in a human body. And the poison of the corruption of the Dark Six. And it turned me into this. And nearly destroyed all of the world. It
Well, I'm
created
still willing to do what I can to save the world and everyone that I possibly can along with it.
yes. I don't know how much you're able to take back in this state. Between the dream world and the mortal plane. As she comes and starts breaking off some bits of the crystal and hands it to both Nephrite and Elish. The reason why the people the Order had taken turned into those rock-stained monsters is so that their bodies could adapt to the new poison in their bodies. Which should mean if you try to transfer the poison from your father and your sister's body into these crystals, it should hold it.
What do we do with the crystal afterwards?
That'll be up to you.
And what of Lorelei? Yes, the mark may not have spread as far for her. She still is a victim, like the rest of us.
Unfortunately, that is not true. She already turned to the creature and took on so much poison. You'll need a lot of crystals to heal her, and I doubt you'll be able to take that much back from the dreamscape. The way I see it, you have two options. Either you get some crystals from the Order itself, or you stop the Green Knight. And in doing so, send the source of the sickness back to where it belongs. To me.
Neither of them are easy. Honestly, I made a promise that I wanted to do something to take him down. If I have to, I will.
Both are doable. And the hope and determination you all have. I know it might not mean much right now, but I believe in you. And I know the other gods do too. And I think with that, you all wake up with a nice long rest.
Yep.